basically a little sneak peek at my 8th Doctor series. It's coming out sometime this year. And of course, in order to do an 8th Doctor series, now most of you will probably know that the TV movie console room is the biggest console room ever. It's massive, but then again they had millions of pounds to spend on this movie, and it was designed by a chap called Richard Houdelin. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And he was the guy who also did the police box for that film as well. But one of my favourite pieces that he designed was the console room itself. I'm just going to give you a quick little look around the set that I shall be using for my McGann series, bearing in mind that this is not completely finished. There's a few little tweaks that I need to make, but it'll give you a taster of things to come later this year. Most of you will probably know that there actually is a printable console out on the excellent Action Figure Theatre site. As you know, that is where I get most of my sets from. Absolutely brilliant for all sorts of things. And they've just made this wonderful 8th Doctor console, which is really what made me want to get up and start making this set. They haven't, as of yet, made any walls or anything for the console room, so I decided to go ahead and try and source a few things myself. Most of it is actually from AFT's site, from some of their other sets, and other bits are just from Google. So the main doors are actually a photograph from the film itself, and that's actually, they're quite big. If I just lift it up, spoil the illusion there, as you can see the top of the paper. But yeah, it's just 2 A4 sheets stuck together, and the doors open and close. The floor is from the season 14 Tom Baker console room, and got the rug there. So if we move along, we have the sort of library section of the 8th Doctor's TARDIS. And the actual TARDIS itself in the movie is on 2 levels. And it has these pillars that sort of jut out from just in front of the bookcases, and that holds up the balcony section. Now, I don't have a second floor. I suggest a second floor slightly by having the bookcases end here, so figures can actually stand up across there if I ever wanted to suggest that even more. But these here are just there to act as those kind of pillar things, and if you just sort of spin that round here, as you can see, this is all held up by VHS tapes down there. You've got your candlesticks and things, and you've got your lamps and different books. The chair is from the original Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. That's Norman Osborn's chair. It's not particularly like the one Paul McGann and Sylvester McCoy sit in, but it's serving a purpose. And we have 2 tables on either side, one with a lamp on and one with a book on. Again, these aren't accurate, but those tables were taken off of the Silence in the Library sets, as were the walls on AFT's site. I've also added some seals of Rassilon above the bookcases. Those of you who aren't fans of the classic series, that is the original Time Lord seal, also known as the Pridonian seal, and also used on the planet Voga. And if we move down here, we have some more rugs. We have the desk with another candle on it and a magnifying glass. The binoculars, which are actually in the movie, and these different maps and books and things. We have just a wooden wall with the cabinets here. We know that one of the things kept in there are bags of gold dust. Now over here, in the McGann TARDIS, he has this kind of I don't know, almost like a little conservatory type thing that just splits off from the rest of the console room. And in front of it's sort of separated with an old church altar screen, or at least it looks like that. There's a little archway, and it kind of looks like an altar screen from an old church. The one that I found was just hanging around on Google, just on Google Images, and it had some religious iconography across the top, in all the gaps really, apart from in the centre. And then beyond that are a selection of plants and things, and different windows. There's a grandfather clock in there as well. There, in the actual one, there's actually a little chair in there, and I think there's a little lute as well. And there's a desk at the back, which is in actual fact a piano, I think, in the actual film, which features a selection of clocks. The second Doctor's recorder will also be sat on there when it comes to doing the actual series itself, and I shall source a load of other different little bits and pieces, different accessories from past Doctor Who stories. And so that comes around here. There's some more wooden walls, some more seals of Rassilon, swords, and all different sort of things hang on the walls. You have these green curtains that hang up behind, because those are basically little passageways into different parts of the TARDIS. The main aspect of the TARDIS is, of course, the console itself. So, as I said, this is from the AFT site, and it just sits really nicely in the centre, like a big spider. And it's a really nice set. It took a while to put together, because there's obviously lots of different bits and pieces. And we've got some more rugs over here. These just sit in between these two pillars. And there's another one behind that pillar over there, and then between the desk and the chair there. Then around here you have some more seals of Rassilon on the sword. I've also added, this is just some slight fan creativity, the coat stand. It's not actually in there. They do have some sort of hangers on that wall, but I thought the coat stand would be nice, seeing as it is a classic piece of the TARDIS generally. And then we have some more sort of tables with books on and things, scanner. And then beyond the girders, or the pillars, whatever you want to refer to them as, we have these big red curtains, and you have the seal of Rassilon yet again up there. And you've got these gaps on either side of the curtains, because again those are meant to lead into other parts of the TARDIS. And so that's it. Like I said, there's still a few things that need to be done, a few little tweaks here and there, and things keep sort of falling off, so I need to find some new ways of fastening bits. But if I'm to zoom out, that's as big, that's the size of the set. It's roughly 4 foot across and 2 foot wide, and you'll be able to see this in its sort of proper working action later this year.